Don't let erectile dysfunction get in the way.
We have all seen way too many Viagra commercials in the last 20 years. But did you know that this little blue pill is saving lives outside of the bedroom?
What?
We are going to talk about the ridiculous way that Viagra was discovered and why it's potentially saving millions of lives. This is the history of Viagra. Now, the discovery of Viagra starts with a different organ that also sometimes has blood flow issues, and that's the heart. You see, the heart stays happy and healthy by getting blood flow from certain arteries. And whenever these arteries get blocked for whatever reason, it can cause you to experience chest pain and eventually a heart attack. So scientists thought that if they could make a medication that would dilate these arteries, then it would restore the blood flow, which would stop the chest pain and prevent a heart attack. And they named this medication sildenafil. And sildenafil worked by decreasing a chemical called PDE5, which in turn increased another chemical called CGMP. This led to dilated arteries, which they thought would help the heart. But as it turns out, it dilated the arteries in a different place. And this was all discovered by researchers with Pfizer in the United Kingdom in the early 1990s. And legend has it that when they were doing trials to evaluate for side effects, some of the nurses noticed that the younger men in the trial were laying on their stomachs because they were embarrassed about something. By 1998, the FDA officially approved sildenafil for erectile dysfunction, and it got the brand name Viagra. And it was a rock-hard success right away, averaging over $1.5 billion in revenue every year up until its patent expired in 2017. Okay, so we get it. Pfizer's made like $20 billion off this medication so far. But what we really want to know is why this magic little blue pill is saving people's lives. And for this, we're going to take a look at an article that was published earlier this year in the Journal of Sexual Medicine. Now, this study takes a look back over the last 14 years, and it took a group of over 72,000 men who have been diagnosed with erectile dysfunction. And of those 72,000, almost 24,000 had used medications like Viagra. Then they compared the overall risk of death between the two groups and also the overall risk of major adverse cardiac events like heart attacks and strokes. And what they found was shocking. Not only did they find that men taking these medications were 13% less likely to suffer a cardiac event, but they also found that their overall mortality was reduced by 25%. Even crazier, in the group of men that took the most amount of this medication, they experienced a reduction in mortality of 49%. Now, it may just be that this medication allows people to stay sexually active, which in turn allows them to be healthier for longer. But it also may be that by dilating the blood vessels in your body, there's less strain for your heart to push against those blood vessels. And as a result, your heart stays healthier for longer. Now, regardless of the reason, we know that tens, if not hundreds of millions of people have taken these medications. And with that in mind, that means that millions of lives have likely been saved by taking medications like Viagra. Now listen, I'm not advocating that everybody go out there and get on Viagra. That would be an oddly erect world. But what I'm saying is, if you are somebody who suffers from erectile dysfunction, you should consider going to your physician and discussing starting one of these medications, because it not only may rejuvenate your life inside of the bedroom, but also may save your life outside of the bedroom. And that's just about enough talk about erectile dysfunction for one day. Subscribe down here, check out the pod. I'll see you next time.